We called this last week and we said something's going to come because of all of the events that's taking place globally. You kind of need a pretext or reason to go ahead and either lock the people down nationally or create some form of fear factor where now people are calling them for more legislation and rules. We called this last week. I have to mute everyone. We called this last week. We called it. And now this is what happened on Monday. Now, who, for real, be honest, did you think this was a man of color or a Muslim that did this? The man was, this was after a Liverpool match, or parade, excuse me. It was at a parade. Very tragic, very disgusting, horrible. Even a cop was stuck underneath the car. But we was telling you last week, Thursday, something is gonna take place in this country. Disgusting. So you can see it was a celebratory parade in Liverpool descended into chaos after a car hits fans. This is not the first time this has taken place. It's not the first time it's taken place. 97 fans injured, and guess who was responsible for it? What was his background? What was his ethnicity? Doyle, Paul Doyle, charged with dangerous driving. Was he a Muslim? Was he an Asian, Indian, Arab, black man? Uh-oh, no, he wasn't. He was a full-fledged Caucasian man. Now, I'm not saying this to put down people's color. No. But what we're saying that the racist propaganda that is out in the media, and I'm going to say the racist propaganda that put out in the media, Doyle. Okay, I've got to get it right spelling now. Come on, folks. That we've been so programmed that we would think it was a brown man or black man or Arab man or man from India, Asia, or whatever. But it was this dude here. This dude is a father of three, Paul Doyle, charged over the Liverpool parade crash. This man had a house. He was a business owner. Did you know that, people? He had money. He was doing okay, it seemed. Well, evidently not okay, but because he was doing this nonsense. But this man, who was from West Derby, arrested on Monday in a car plowed into the fans of Liverpool Premier League victory celebration, Merseyside police confirmed. Yeah, this 53-year-old, yeah, the man is considered to be middle class. Now, why am I pointing this out? What's this got to do with book club? Everything. Because the time we're heading into now, unfortunately, a lot of people are crashing out mentally. Yeah, the way how the banking system and the system is playing, that if you don't know your natural rights, your legal rights, your lawful rights, then you can too implode. There was an incident where a man set himself on fire when he was told that he would not be able to receive benefits from the job center. There's people who commit suicide and do self-harm. And I don't care what your background and your religion, your color is, that is absolutely terrible and tragic for any man or woman to go through that. You understand? But see, when the system, the parasitical system, the vampiric system can keep taking and taking from you, then you're going to feel helpless and you're going to resort to violence on self and others and kind. Just like what happened in Israel, what's happening in Israel, you'll find people who are willing to take their own lives if they don't receive justice. I am not justifying what he done. What he done was wicked, it was evil, it was tragic, and my heart goes out to all of those who were injured in this tragic event and affair. Just want to make that clear from us here at the Power of Consent, that our hearts go out to those families who were injured. But we have to also say the media, which is a part of the corporation machine, which is also connected to the private bankers, they don't care about you and I. We're just cannon fodder. But they had to quickly announce it was a Caucasian male from Merseyside, or Liverpool, excuse me, because they knew if they didn't announce it, then what would happen is a repeat of the version of events that we saw last year. Don't forget what happened, my friends. There was literal race riots. And is it a coincidence, family, that this fool is released? I'm just going to give us the news because we've got to find out what's going on. We've got to be up to date. We have to update our files. Tommy Robinson, Tommy Robinson looking like a Muslim with the beard and the hair. Tommy Robinson. Tommy. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, he might as well be holding the Quran. Look, man's got a chain around his neck. This man, I have to say this, that's not his real name. That's not his real name, by the way. Tommy Robinson is his alias, is straw man. That's his straw man. Tommy Robinson's real name is Stephen Christopher Yaxley Lennon of Irish descent. Stephen Christopher Yaxley Lennon of Irish descent. It's my personal opinion. This is just my opinion. This dude is an agent. He's a whole agent.
Being a citizen journalist.
Yeah? But, and I'm guaranteeing you almost, people, that the next elections that we have in this country, the United Kingdom, and welcome everyone from all over the world, the next elections will be, yeah, he's trying to portray himself as a victim. The next elections, I fear that Nigel Farage will win. Did you hear me, people? Nigel Farage, is it Farage? Have I got his name right? Nigel. Have I spelled it right? Farage. Let me get it. Spell check. Nigel, yes, this dude will win. Why will he win? Well, we studied in book club that Hitler was a part of the National Socialist Party. And Hitler came into prominence because Germany was in a deep recession. And so they needed solutions to raise Germany from the ashes. Germany was highly dissatisfied economically, and they blamed the poor Jewish community as to why Germany was going through a recession. So people started to listen to Adolf Hitler and his speeches. Now this man is now capitalizing on all of the things that are taking place in his country, but they need a scapegoat, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, family. They need a scapegoat. Guess who the scapegoat is? The working class. Go deeper. The working class. Those who are black and brown. So Nigel Farage is talking to many young men and women, and they're like, we're better voting for him because he seems to be the one that has got the solutions. Keir Starmer don't have no solutions. Keir Starmer is working for the private bankers, by the way. All right? So I just wanted to quickly just give us an update as to what's going on. Welcome, Clive. Welcome, Clive, our gold expert and consultant who's in the room, who always tells us that we should
welcome, brother.
Thank you, sir. Brother, I think I may bring you on a bit later just to discuss why it's important that we need to invest in gold in this time where literally everything's becoming digital. Even these people reformed are talking about cryptocurrency. Donald Trump's currency, he's made billions. Isn't that right, brother?
Yeah, but not even that. Going back to Nigel Farage, you know, knowledge is key. I don't know if many know, but there's a few pictures with him with his hand around some top NF people. And if anybody knows, having gone to school in Eltham, who the NF are, so I don't think so. But that's, you know, it needs, yeah. So some people need to look into that. So,
National Front. Look at that. So there's no, well, Google said there's no evidence. Rubbish.
Exactly. But yeah, they're pushing for digital currency, as you know, ultimate control, just like BlackRock coming over and taking over all the properties so everyone can rent and own nothing. And if they're behind this crypto stuff and they pull the plug, you know, we're all going to be stuck. So yeah, as you know, I'm a big gold advocate and to get out of the system and free.
Absolutely. And we need to start investing in gold because look, right now, unfortunately, and this is not to exclude any other people, any other groups of people, but we know economically and socially, we are at the bottom of the economic social ladder, black people. We are at the bottom and we need to turn that around. That's why book club is so important because knowledge is power, as you just said, bro. Like what we're doing, we're just wanting to go out and plan for Carnival, plan for Brockwell Park. Big up people who went to Brockwell Park, by the way. I love, you know, all of the festivals.
Have you seen it?
Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, sorry, family. Yeah, so we have to also be mindful while we're getting involved in revelry. Let's be serious as well. Let's stop being afraid of being serious. So I just wanted to update us as to what's going on this week, why it's important that we are well informed. I don't see it as a coincidence that this dude was released this week. All of this orchestrated, in my humble opinion. I don't believe in coincidences, people, nor should you. I don't believe it's a coincidence that this tragic event took place where people were celebrating. I warned us of this. Those of you who go to Sunday school now, yeah? Those of you who go to church, You always hear stories about the people of Moses and Noah were in revelry, and then the tragic event took place when you least expected it. Again, my heart goes out to those who are who've been hit by this tragedy, you know. And we just have to be mindful when we're going about our business today. We have to be alert, yeah, because even the scripture warns that if we can't be asleep. When you watch the movie Sinners, and we're going to do a breakdown of the film, you will find Sinners takes, no spoilers because this is in the trailer, you'll find Sinners is about a celebration in the Jew joint where people are celebrating in revelry, but that's when the parasites came. That's when the vampires came. All of these things are symbolic truths put into films. We're going to be doing a decoding of that film real soon. Okay, let's keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving. I want to show you something real quick. Just want to, because I know we've got some new faces here, and you are probably wondering, what the hell is this dude talking about? What's this all about, man? What's this all about? Well, I'm going to just try my best to make sure that everybody's on the same page. But don't worry if you've missed out, because we do have a YouTube channel where you can go and subscribe to and catch up on previous book club recordings, and you can see the various different things that we've been speaking about, especially regarding in book club and what we've been reading. And we're almost finished this book. We've almost finished. Let me just quickly show you a video before we start reading for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to break out into question and answers. Let me just quickly show you something real quick. All right, I'm trying to keep this moving. We're not trying to do the slow thing today. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so the straw man. We're talking about meet your straw man. Can anyone tell me what is the straw man? What does that mean real quick? What does it mean, the straw man? Okay, this thing is just taking its time to load. Bear with me, everyone. All right. Can anyone tell me real quick while we wait for the video to load? 14 people in the space. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. We won't keep you long, but we'll keep you strong while it's loading. But while it's loading, can anyone tell me what is the straw man in your own words? Don't be shy. Don't be bashful. I know you're all watching something on telly, or some of you are watching what you're watching on TV. I still appreciate that you're here. Some of us are cooking jollof rice or agusi soup or jerk chicken or whatever we're doing. All right, this is taking its time, sweet time to load up, and I don't know why it's taking so long. So, oh, here we go. Right. So, anyone who would like to tell me what the straw man is as we get into the book club reading section of tonight? Real quick, unmute yourself. Don't be shy, people. Huh? Okay, nobody? Okay. All right, people are just driving and
it's a corporate copy of yours well, a corporate copy of who, well, a corporate copy of someone.
A corporate copy of someone. I like that, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, isn't it when everybody's born, we've got a price tag on our heads, which has all been kept a secret? It relates to that. I think it also relates to some maritime law, or the fake law that we have that rules the country. I hope that helps, Courtney.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. All of what was said was correct. And we've even got a quiz, and I want to see if people can answer that quiz, but I'm not sure. We're not going to get any quiz right now because I want us to read some of the book. But yeah, both of you are absolutely right. Thank you for your points of view on what the straw man is. So let's just listen to our brother here. He will give us a little bit of insight as to what the straw man is before we get into reading.
So I definitely know something that y'all don't know. Take out your driver's license real quick. A lot of y'all think when you look at that driver's license, that's actually you. Use that for identification, right? Same thing with the name on the court docket. When you get in a jam, traffic ticket, all that. Thinking that's your name, thinking that's you, that's what actually gets you jammed up. That's an entity. The same way.
Right. An entity is an entity. Funny, when you look at the word identity, you got the word entity. And then you got a horror film called Entity. So what we need to understand here, and what we understand from reading this book in book club, is that you are not your entity. You are not your driver's license. You are not your passport. You are not the name that they print on letters that they put through the letterbox. Very important for us to really grasp that and comprehend that. The names that come through your letterbox is not you. Who would agree or disagree with me? Please disagree if you want to disagree. And please tell me why you would disagree with that. Is that you or isn't it you? It's not you. That's very important to understand.
Walmart, Target is an entity. It can't talk, but it has an owner. It has somebody that is responsible for it. You are responsible for that entity.
Right.
That entity is what takes all the charges, which means whenever you get into traffic tickets, any type of court situation, they're speaking to that entity. That's the principal debtor. You, the human being responsible for that entity, you are the surety, the co-signer. So if you go into a car lot, the first person who signs, they're the principal. The second person who signs is the surety, the co-signer. Everybody understands that the identification, the social security card, the birth certificate, all these things that we use for identification, that's the trick. That's what gets you jammed.
Right. So you understand, that's the trick of the system that we're living in, that we've been tricked into believing that we are these different forms of identities. That's not who you are. You are living men, you are living women. You are not your paper version of you. But you and I were tricked, our mothers and fathers, or what they call parents, were tricked into signing a contract. What is that contract? The birth certificate, or the certified form of entry. Yeah, the certified form of entry. And I'm going to just real quick, just because we just want to, real quick, because I just need to get people updated with things here as we close out and finish this book. Okay, let me just do this real quick. Okay, I don't know why. Right, so the term is, okay, so it's called a birth certificate. Mum and dad did this unknowingly. Certified, what's the term? This, oh God. A certified copy of entry. That's what it is. It's not even a birth certificate, it's a certified copy of entry. Copy. So in other words, you don't have the original, mum and dad don't have the original. Who has the original? The original is owned by the state. And you, your mother and father, us as mother and fathers are known as the informants. We inform the state that our baby is born, right? And this is like a company certificate, a bond certificate. There's a reason why they call slavery bondage, and they trade and sell things in Bond Street. All right, same words. It's the same words, the same meaning. So this is the bond certificate. Okay, so this is what we refer to the straw man, your name, the straw man, your identity, the straw man. In fact, you can't even use the birth certificate as a form of identity, so they say. Anyway, let's get reading into this book. If there's any questions, any quick points, please, this is the time to do it now. If you've got any quick points, make it quick and brief. I know for reading for us in our community can be painful and boring. I know. And this is why after this book, we're gonna go into some other different books and we're gonna just read chapters and we're gonna keep it brief. Sister Love, go ahead. Sister Love, unmute yourself.
Hi.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, no, I just had a quick point. I was literally gonna say what that guy said before he said it. I was gonna say the straw man is the name. So the way that I see it is like there's two worlds. I know this may sound a bit weird, but this is my perception anyway. There's obviously reality, and then there's a fictional world, there's a corporate world, like a 2D world. And it's a paper world. So that deals with all corporate entities and fictional entities, and your name you didn't actually create. It was created for you. They mixed surname and your first name and put it together, but your parents didn't give you that name together. They just gave you your first name. You took your family name, but it was never together. You know, your family didn't, your parents didn't say hi, you know, Charlene Osborne. They didn't say stuff like that. They just said hi, Charlene. So what they've done is they've created a whole new, like you said, entity for you to use to be able to operate in the fictional world, in the corporate world, because beings cannot exist in that world. It's like a world that's created only for that. So that's just what I wanted to add. That's kind of how I see it.
Come on, beloved. Thank you so much for what you just said there. It's so important that I know this is very new for a lot of us. So Like, don't worry, don't worry. The book called Meet Your Straw Man, Meet Your Straw Man, is something that you can get online, and it's you can easily get it online. So I'm just trying to line something up for us to. Okay, just give me a moment. Give me a moment.
You can buy it online, or there's a PDF that's being shared everywhere that's free.
Exactly. That's right. That's right. Okay, so it's so important that we really understand and understand what's going on. That's why you have the word register in legalese, Black's Laws Dictionary means what? The word to register, registrar. They call it the registrar office. You register something, so you now no longer have ownership. Go ahead, Pauline. Go ahead, sister.
Risings or
risings.
Okay, so one of the things that comes out of it for me, studying it so far, people once they learn about the straw man, they're convinced that they can go after that money that when you're born, they can go after it. But the thing is, what you've got to realize, the birth certificate was created by them with that name. So when they set up that trust or that put you on the stock market, whatever, you got to remember that money is theirs. Now, when you detach yourself, you find, whatever way you find yourself to detach yourself from that name, it's not detach yourself completely, but finding a way to take yourself out of the corporation, then anything your signature creates after that belongs to you. But people, I keep saying to people, don't look at the money, what's created by them already. Move on and think about what you can create for your new name if you create your new name out of the corporation. But
what is money? What is money? What is money, though?
Well, fiat money is nothing. It's just paper. It's what is it? I or the bearer. It's nothing because.
Well, not really, because money. Are you talking about fiat cash money?
Well, money in a sense.
See, this is the thing. What we're learning through this, and thank you so much, sister. What we're learning through book club is that money, you and I are the money. We are the currency, current chi. We are the energy. We are the money.
And I understand that, but if you listen to people, once they start talking, they start studying the straw man. Have you noticed? I've got to go and get that money back off the stock market that they created off my signature.
It's the wrong language they're using. That's one for
exactly.
Starters.
Well, and that as well. And one of the things I remember is what is it? The age 7, 14, and 21. Is it? You can you can get back your child to get back them on from the sea onto the land. So I think it's age 7, 14, and 21.
Yes, that's right. 7, 7, 7. That's right, beloved. That's right. And that is going even deeper. Now we're talking about the trust of 1666. But that's deeper. And I know there's a lot of new people in a space, but you're absolutely right. We are the money. That's so important to understand. You see, we have to change our language because language creates spells. Language creates matter. I'm talking deep science here, and we're going to go into that when we go into the movie called Sinners. The language we are using is either keeps us enslaved or free. But if you don't know, then how can we use the right language? You see, there's so many different terms to describe this medium of exchange. There's medium of exchange itself. There's a reason why it's called legal tender. Well, if there's legal tender, what's lawful tender? What's lawful tender? And Clive Lindsay will back me up on this. Lawful tender, once upon a time, and still is gold. Lawful, because it's international and universal. Yeah. While the British pound, for example, the British pound is a fiat note. It's not even money. That's a debt note. The Federal Reserve debt notes. These notes that are in circulation, that are soon to come out of circulation soon, are debt notes. This country is in debt. The United Kingdom is in debt. Okay, let's move on real quick. We're going to do a bit of reading. But before we do a bit of reading, I'm just going to quickly recap. And as you know, I'm talking real fast because I know people like entertainment. And I know there's a lot of giants in the room that have, oh, where's the volume of this, man? Chuck. I'm just going to recap over last, where the volume there? Okay. All right, forget that. But we're going into that was the economic hit. There's a book called The Economic Hitman where we're talking about how private bankers in relationship to Muammar Gaddafi and now in relationship to other African leaders and leaders around the world are the ones who have a stranglehold over many places which they will say is a no-fly zone or don't visit. The countries, and we discovered this in reading, in book club, that the countries that don't want you and I to go to are oftentimes the countries that don't want anything to do with the private banking institutions. They have their own currency. Adolf Hitler, who we're not laudatory of at all, he's an evil son of a oop, he broke away from the private bankers and created his own German currency. JFK, we discovered, he also created his own currency as well. And then assassination. Abraham Lincoln created what is called the greenbacks in 1813 and then was assassinated. So when you're looking at the leadership of all of these different fictions, countries, fictions, corporations, they are either going to side with the private bankers, Keir Starmer, or they're going to go and create their own currency for the people to be free of usury, free of interest, free of all of these different things that are damning and destroying families and communities that are causing things like this to take place. Do you see the connection now? You're talking about a man that was all right financially it seemed, had his house, job, or his own business. So what would cause this man of 50 plus years old to do that? So everything is connected today, people. All right? Nothing is separate. It's all connected. So let's continue to read. Do you have any volunteers that would like to read, who would just like to read a little bit here as we get deep into the private central bankers, as we get into understanding how it can affect our lives and where we can be free? Because without knowledge, you can't be free. All right. Anyone would like to read? Anyone would like to read?
I'll go ahead.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right. But understand this above all else. Private central banks do not exist to serve the people, the community, or the nation. Private central banks exist to serve their owners, to make them rich beyond the dreams of Midas, and all for the cost of ink, paper, and the right bride to the right official.
That's right.
Behind that's it?
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Behind all these wars, all these assassinations, the 100 million horrible deaths from all the wars lies a single policy of dictatorship.
Come on.
The private central bankers allow rulers to rule only on the condition that the people of a nation remain enslaved to the private central banks. Failing that, any ruler will be killed and their nation invaded by those other nations which are already enslaved to private central banks.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. I love that, the fact that we're just jumping into read. And please, more volunteers to read. Don't be ashamed, anyone. Thank you so much, brother. Yeah, please, people come in and read. Reading, it improves everything. Thank you. And what the brother just read here is exactly what's going on in Burkina Faso. See? Because Abraham Touré, he's not with the private central bankers. He's doing his own thing, as far as I know. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. Yeah? So the ways to freedom, yeah, is knowledge. But with knowledge, you use that knowledge to understand we can create our own currency. Man, there's a part in Sinners, the movie. If I say this, I'll spoil it, and I better know. There's a part in Sinners where there's a currency part. Oh, no, I better shut my mouth. Just go and see the movie, because when we do a breakdown in it, when I do a breakdown in it, I don't care if you ain't seen the movie or not. Too late. By the time I do a breakdown, it'll be too late. Go and watch it. Go and watch it. There's so much in that film. Thank you once again, brother. Okay, so continuing on to read, the so-called clash of civilizations we read about on the corporate media is really a war between banking systems, with the private central bankers forcing themselves on the rest of the world, no matter how many millions must die for it. Iraq war. And don't think that what happened in Liverpool is nothing connected to the central bankers. By the way, you had the Hillsborough disasters where all those people who sadly passed away and were crushed, and they are now seeking reparations. Don't think for 1 minute things cannot be orchestrated in a certain kind of way. Yeah, do I need to mention some of the events? Do I need to go there? I think we all know what I'm talking about. Okay. Indeed, the constant hate mongering, look at this, against Muslims lies in a simple fact. I asked you all a question. When you saw this report, when you saw the car incident, most of us thought, and if we're going to be honest, or we at least prayed, boy, me hope say not a Muslim or Indian or Arab or black man. Back in the day, mommy and daddy watched TV, the 10 o'clock news with Trevor McDonald, man, robbing, mugging, and so forth. We used to sit by the TV and pray it wasn't a black man. True or false? Because the power of propaganda, the power of media, yeah, has such an effect that it can cause people to sway in a certain kind of direction. Even with what happened in 7/7, after that bombing in, well, the fire in, was it King's Cross? Yeah, King's Cross. Anyone with a beard and a rucksack sitting on the tube, maybe doing a Muslim prayer, Al-Fatiha or Allahu Akbar, which means God is the greatest. People think, oh, he's got a bomb in his rucksack. Am I lying? Please tell me. If you think I'm lying, tell me. If I'm lying, I'm flying. The power of propaganda is so powerful that Homeland Security got funded. People were stopped and searched at airports if your name was Mohammed or Sharif or Alicia or any name that resembled Islamic traditions. That's down to propaganda. And that's why these white supremacist groups rose up hoping it was a black man, hoping it was an Arab, hoping it was a Pakistani, hoping it was an individual of color. Oh, it wasn't. It was a Caucasian male. Yeah? So where is that now energy to get rid of white supremacy, which, by the way, is the biggest terrorist disposition in the whole world? White supremacy is, please, white supremacy is the worst form of terrorism on this planet. It terrorizes people of color, black people. It even terrorizes people who are Caucasian. It's the most horrible, terrible means of terrorism on any people in any time in history. White supremacy. There's a lot of people out there saying that racism does not exist. Absolute nonsense. I hope that this kind of news, sad to say that the people who are injured and who perished, I hope it's a reminder that racism, white supremacy, sadly, unfortunately, as a mentality, it's not a skin hate thing, it's a mentality, exists, unfortunately. And both black, white, Asian, everybody needs to know and understand the mindset and the system of white supremacy so we can get rid of this ugly disease that bedevils the human family. Let's carry on. Hate mongering against Muslims lies in the simple fact. Like the ancient Christians, prior to the Knights Templar private banking system, Muslims forbid usury. Who knows what usury means? The lending of money at interest. That's what it means. It's forbidden in the Bible, in the Quran, and in the Torah, by the way. It is absolutely a sin. All right. And that is the reason why the American government and the media insist that Muslims must be killed or converted. This all goes back to the Holy Wars, by the way. They refuse, and that's what Lord of the Rings, the movie, is based upon as well, if you really look at it. They refuse to submit to currencies issued at interest. As a Muslim, you do not charge other Muslims interest. Do you know that? You've got a mortgage system, which is called a halal mortgage system. In Judaism, you have a system whereby, according to the Torah, if I'm a Jew, and let's say, for example, Sean is a Jew, or Sister Love is a Jew, or the brother is a Jew, sister, I don't charge you interest because it goes against the very constitution and the principle of the 5 books of Moses. Now you get into how you create intergenerational wealth. There's still people who think that black people are so incompetent, so illiterate. Why can't we get wealthy? It is because when the system is rigged and when you don't know these things, then it will appear that you look inferior and that other people are superior, when that's not the case. That is not the case. Yeah? So, okay, like ancient Christians prior to the Knights Templar, private banking systems, Muslims forbid usury, lending the money at interest, and that is the reason why American government and the media insist that Muslims are secured and converted. They refuse to submit to currencies issued at interest. They refuse to be debt slaves. Debt is slavery, people. Debt is slavery. So off the war, American children must go. Your children, my children, black and white, must go and join the army to spill their blood for the gold of money junkies. Not a coincidence that when you join the army, you are called a private, corporal, yes, a private, and all these different things. Okay, we barely survived the last 2 wars. In the nuclear bioweapon age, which we're in now, are the private central bankers willing to risk incinerating the whole planet just to feed their greed? Apparently so. Flag waving and propaganda aside, which is war, by the way, all modern wars are, wars by and for the private bankers. I'm going to say that again. Every war you see is by the private bankers, people. Every war, every war, every war. Fought and bled for by third parties, unaware of the true reason why they are expected to be killed and crippled. The process is quite simple. As soon as the private central bank issues its currency as a loan, listen to this now, your mortgages, your loans that you're paying back for your car, your HP, listen to this, yeah? As a loan at interest, the public is forced deeper and deeper into debt. Can someone tell me how much debt the UK, United Kingdom, is in right now? When the people are reluctant to borrow anymore, that is when the Keynesian economists, I'm going to look at that word, the Keynesian, I don't know if anyone else has heard of this word before. Okay.
It's the name of a politician.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's his surname. I'll put his full name up in a second. 1 second.
Thank you so much. Demand the government borrow more. To keep the pyramid scheme working. See, when both the people and the government refuse to borrow anymore, that is when wars are started to plunge everyone even deeper into debt to pay for the war. Then after the war, to borrow more to build. When the war is over, the people have about the same as they did before the war, except the graveyards are far larger and everyone is in debt to the private bankers for the next century. Listen, this is why Brown Brothers, Harriman in New York was funding, oh my God, the rise of Adolf Hitler. Uh-oh. Let me just show you something real quick. See, you all think that war is about, oh, we got to fight for the rights of the people. We got to fight for their freedom. Rubbish. We got to fight for to free the people from tyranny of Muammar Gaddafi or Saddam Hussein. We got to fight Abraham Touré because he's oppressing the people. Propaganda. Keynesian economics and School of Macroeconomic thought emphasis the role of the government intervention stabilizing the economy during the depressions by managing aggregate demand. It's named after a British economist, John Maynard Keynes, who developed the theory in responding to the Great Depression. The Keynesian economists believe that the government spending the tax policies can stimulate demand and prevent unemployment. It's an endless cycle of debt. Keynesian economists focus on the demand side economics, arguing that the economy can best be controlled by influencing the demand for goods and services. Okay, we get that. Let's get back to the book. Come on. Where are you? Who are you? What are you doing now? Okay, bear with me, everyone. Bear with me. All right, let me just get the book back up. It's doing something janky. Thank you so much for that, sister, what you was telling us regarding how the economy works. Hold on, let me just get this back. All right. It's so important that what we're learning here, everything you see in terms of the news media regarding war is to do with the private banks. Please never, ever get that twisted. Okay, so look at this. The Brown Brothers in New York funded the rise of Adolf Hitler. We're going to look at that. As long as private central banks are allowed to exist, inevitably, as night follows day, there will be poverty, hopelessness, and millions of deaths in endless world wars until the earth itself is sacrificed in flames to Mammon. Does everyone know who Mammon is? Is everyone aware of Mammon? For all those of you who used to go Sunday school, I was forced to go. Mammon. Go and look up the word Mammon, please, in your own time. And please post it in the chat. Look up the word Mammon and the rituals of Mammon. Yeah? The path to true peace on the earth lies in the abolishment of all private central banking everywhere and a return to the state-issued value-based currencies that allow nations and people to become prosperous. Now, this is what I'm trying to say. Digital currency is one of the worst things that can happen to us right now. When it's controlled by the central bank, private bankers, it's one of the worst. I'm telling you, it's going to be one of the worst forms of slavery that we're ever going to see if we're not mindful. Cash is dissipating. I'm going to ask the question, and I want you to be honest with me. How many of you how many of you have withdrawn cash? Please put it in the chat. How many of us have withdrawn cash from the cash point? How many of you have cash in the withdrawn from the ATM? Huh? Because anyhow, there's a power cut, like there was one in Spain, Portugal, a month ago. What are you going to do? For all of you Bitcoin people out here, what are you going to do when there's a power cut? Your Bitcoin will no more be it won't be a bit, there'll be no coin. It won't be a bit of a coin, it'll be no coin. You better get something tangible. You better get something tangible. And this is why Clyde Lindsay, thank God for this brother, he's going to show us why it's so important to invest. So we just saw it. Brown Brothers Harriman did not directly fund the rise of Hitler, but they did facilitate the financial operations of German industrialist Fritz Thyssen, who was a key figure in supporting the Nazi party. So yeah, Thyssen, through his investment, I'm not German, I don't know if I got that right. The only thing I know in German is Audi and BMW and Mercedes-Benz. Okay. Thyssen, through his investment in various companies and his personal financial support, played a role in the Nazis' rise to power in Germany. Brown Brothers Harriman served as Thyssen's US base, America. All right. Handling his financial affairs and transactions, including those related to his investment and support for the Nazi party, America. While Brown Brothers Harriman was not directly, but they keep saying that. So in other words, so when you're paying reparations to the Jews, then America should be paying, and they do annually pay billions to the state of Israel. All right. So let's just look at this real quick. So important that we understand what time it is, so that when you're watching the news, you know who's behind it. You know who's and they still exist today. They still exist. The Brown Brothers Harriman exist today. And that name, Harriman, sounds a bit, all right. Yeah, I think you know what I'm saying. Okay, where are we? Come on, help me, come on. Okay, summary. We're going to close out on the book club section real shortly. Summary. Before you were born, the bankers operated a scam intended to rob all members of the general public. They removed all forms of money, there's that word, and replaced it with worthless notes. Remember, what did I say? What did I say before? Money and notes, two different things. They removed all forms of money. Money's not paper. We've got to reprogram ourselves now. Money's not paper, family. Money, and replaced it with worthless notes, which read, I promise to pay the bearer, with another worthless banknote. So hold on a minute. Let me just pause on that real quick. So if that banknote is not money and it's worthless, what do you think digital currency is? Huh? If the paper is worthless, then them digits are worthless too, right? They then managed to do away with the government and replace it with a group of commercial companies which they own. I just showed you one. They cunningly named these companies so that they look like a government? In other words, HM Treasury. Can anyone name a company that looks like government? Name it for me right now, please. Name me a company that looks like government. DVLA, right? That looks like government, doesn't it? But is it? Okay. They took over the printing of the worthless banknotes with their private company called the Bank of England. Uh-oh, go ahead, Sister Love. Sister Love, go ahead.
Yeah, the Bank of England, but I was also going to say the United Kingdom.
There you go. And where is the Bank of England? Is it in London? Is it in London? The Bank of England, is it in London? No, it's not. So your country is being ruled by another country, from another country, the Bank of England, private, which means to sound like a government organization. The Bank of England is not a government organization. There you go. They're the ones printing the worthless paper. Stop referring to it as money, people. Change up your language. Especially those of you who are into the law of attraction, change up your language, because if you're trying to attract money, you're stating the wrong words. And the universe will obey your command. But if you state the wrong term, then yeah. Sister Love, would you like to read? Would you like to read, please? Or can we have a sister, a woman reading with their lovely voice, please?
I don't mind reading.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Just to get my glasses.
Better go to Specsavers. No, go ahead, sister. Take your time.
Sure. Okay, so where did you leave off?
So where we are is the next step in their cunning plan.
Right, got it. Thank you. So the next step in their cunning plan was to get their company, which sounds like the government, to ask their company, the Bank of England, to print them lots of worthless money and to charge interest on that money over and above the face value of the currency. This excess interest amount is called the national debt. In order to fool ordinary people into believing that their country somehow owes somebody large amounts of money. Firstly, there is really nothing owed at all. Secondly, there is no money. Thirdly, the country does not owe anything, and in the unlikely event that there were a genuine debt, then it has nothing to do with ordinary people, as it is just a notional debt. Is that a typo, or is it supposed to be
Oh,
national?
no, sorry, national debt. As it says,
National debt incurred by one commercial company to another commercial company owned by the same people.
Mm.
This supposed debt has been boosted over the years to a ridiculous level, which could never, ever be paid off. And you will no doubt be glad to learn that all income tax is now paid to the owners of these commercial companies. Do you want me to continue, or?
Go ahead, sister. You're
Okay.
doing great. Thank you.
Isn't it great to be paying vast sums of money to a commercial company which has never done anything for you and which holds you in utter contempt because you haven't discovered their scam and continue to pay lots of ridiculous taxes, fees, and charges, none of which you need to pay at all? Combined, these charges amount to about 80% of a person's earned income. Do you enjoy living on 1/5 of what you actually earn?
Look at that. And no, it wasn't a typo. Notional debt.
Yeah, it's notional. Okay.
Notional debt. Notional debt, people. Who knows what notional debt is? We're gonna treat this like school, because we gotta read, people, or we're doomed. I'm gonna just tell it straight to you. And I want to big up all 19 of you, whether you're watching EastEnders or whatever, Strictly Come Dancing, whatever's on TV, I don't know. You're here and you're studying, and this is great. Knowledge is power. I'm telling you, this is the time to get out the oil in our land. So notional debt, in the context of financial derivatives, that's like a mortgage. A derivative is a mortgage. Keep that in mind. In the context of financial derivatives like swaps, the notional debt refers to a theoretical amount that is used to calculate interest payments, what did I just say, mortgage, but is not actually exchanged between parties. This notional amount is used as a benchmark for interest rate calculations, fraud, usury, but the parties involved don't pay or receive any actual funds corresponding to this amount. Okay. So that's what notional debt is. They don't teach this in university. They don't teach this in school. They don't teach this to keep you dumb, to keep me dumb. Why should they teach you? The beginning of wealth is knowledge. If you want a poor working class people, black, white, Asian, keep them dumb. Even when I smoke, hold on 1 second, even when they have a smartphone in their pocket, keep them stupid and dumb. I'm not reading. Go ahead, Sean.
A derivative is not a mortgage.
It is. And
no, it isn't.
It is. I'm going to tell you why it is.
No, it isn't.
I'm going to tell you why it is.
Okay.
Because when you get a mortgage, what are you purchasing?
Say again?
When you get a mortgage, I mean, I want to come back to this, but when you get a mortgage, what are you purchasing?
A house.
Are you purchasing the house? Right. So you are getting the derivative of the actual real thing, the real property. That's the real thing. The mortgage, the loan, is a derivative or an extract of the property that is owned by the bank and the landowners. That's what I mean by derivative in that context.
Yeah, but that will be wrong. But it's not a derivative. A derivative is something that you have. You see it. You buy something for a certain value, and then you hold it for that amount with the hope that the value is going to increase. And so that the derivative essentially protects.
Right. Okay. Okay.
You to essentially buy it back at the lower price, which means you get more profit. I'm going to show the receipts. It's kind of
I'm going to show the receipts. I'll show the receipts on it.
No problem.
I love it. Hold on. Let me just bring up the receipts on it. Hold on.
I can read it here. I've already got it. I can read it.
Let me show what we mean by what is a derivative in mortgage. Hold on. What is the definition of the term derivative? That's the first thing. But I don't want to go straight from the book, but we will come on to this because we're about to close the book section. But I want to just show something real quick. What is a mortgage in a derivative in a mortgage? A derivative is a financial contract whose value is derived from the performance of the underlying market factors, such as interest rates, currency exchange rates, and the commodity, credit, and equity prices. Question to the space. A mortgage, are you buying a property or are you paying back the bank? People, talk to me. Are we actually purchasing the actual property or are we actually paying off the interest or what they call mortgage? And we go into the term, what the term mortgage means as well. So it's the context. It's not a case of whether it's wrong or right, but the context is that when most people think, oh, I own
No, it's just, they're both two financial instruments. They're two different instruments. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, cool. Yeah. That's all right. But the point is that the mortgage, we are duped into thinking, most people, 85% of the people in the world population believe that when you get a mortgage, you own the property. You are just purchasing you're at best, we're paying the interest rate and never own the property, ever. So we just have a derivative in the context of mortgage, derivative or part of what we think we own. We just own the debt and they keep us in debt, hence slavery, to pay off that mortgage. Even when we do pay it off and the inheritance tax and it's passed on to the children, they have to pay more. So we're just paying more of the derivative, not the actual whole part of the house
No,
to have
if we had a
ownership in
derivative,
the context.
we would actually benefit. You know that, right?
Say that again.
If we had the derivative of the mortgage, which would be the interest, we would actually benefit.
No, but
because
what
we
I'm
would
saying
hold
is,
the value. I said, if it was a derivative that we had, and it was on the interest rates of the mortgage, and the interest rates, let's say, would increase or the value goes up, we would actually benefit. That's what derivative.
okay, so let's look at the actual definition of
does.
derivative.
It's an
Let's look
instrument
at the
that
definition
allows
of
you
derivative.
to.
I'm gonna
Huh?
go on. Go ahead.
No, go on. You read it, bro.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you.
It's all right, bro.
And yeah, one, something which is based on another source. An arrangement or a product such as a future option or warrant or value derives from and is dependent on the value of an underlying asset such as a commodity, currency, or security. What is the security? What is the actual security? What is the actual real currency? Remember we said money, currency, fiat currency, cash, all different things. That's why we've got to learn the language. So when we say derivative,
anything.
When we say derivative, it's something that comes from something else. So when you are involved in a contract such as a mortgage, you're involved in just paying off the derivative, which is based on another source. That's what I mean in the context. I'm not saying you're wrong, Sean, but in the context that I'm explaining in terms of definition and the words is the actual derivative we're paying. We're not paying the actual source. We're not actually going for the actual, and that's why they hold it as a security against people. In terms of
you don't pay off the derivative, brother. That's what I'm trying to say. You're using it in the wrong context.
No, but the context in terms of the definition is that when you do when you're paying for a mortgage, what are we paying for?
You're paying back the debt, yes, but that's not a derivative. So the derivative will be more if let's say you bought the mortgage, but then you got a derivative like a contract to say, oh, you know, this is the price of that I got the mortgage at now. And then it increases, for example. So now you can sell.
Sorry, you there, bro?
You essentially can prove that you bought the amount that you bought the mortgage for, right, is at that value. So if the value is obviously increased, you make money in it.
But what I'm saying, Sean,
that's what a derivative is. It's not, listen, you don't pay derivatives.
The mortgage itself, is it the property?
No, I'm saying you don't pay any derivative. That's what I'm trying to say, brother.
No.
When you're saying you pay a derivative, you don't pay anything. It's just an instrument.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But what I'm saying is the terminology I'm using is the actual mortgage. When you're paying for something, you're not actually paying for ownership of the property itself. You're paying a derivative of the property. Now, what you're saying is, I'm not saying you're wrong, but what you're saying is derivative mortgage in terms of the definition. Hold on a minute. Definition of it, that exists too. But the term I'm using in the context is that people never ever actually pay off the mortgage. You never own the home. You're just paying the derivative of the actual real value, the actual asset itself. You will never own it, ever. Because you don't own the land anyway. You just...
And can I just say that mortgage is a French word that says like a dead plate.
Yeah, I mean, the word, mortgage, which mort, which means dead, and gauge, this is where you get the word engage. When you're engaged, see, a lot of people get caught up on being engaged. I'm engaged, I'm getting married. Well done, babes. And that happens for 1 year, 2 years, still engaged, 3 years, still engaged, 4 years, still engaged. And we act like the engagement is an actual marriage. The engagement is the derivative of the marriage. That's my terminology that I'm using. So I'm not saying what Sean's saying is wrong, because brother knows a lot more than me when it comes to those kind of things. But in the context that I'm making, in terms of you never, ever actually own the thing, you're just engaged, mortgaged, engaged, pledged, death pledge. That's the word mortgage means, to pay interest rates and all that. It's a derivative of the real estate. We're going to call it real estate. This is a play on words. It might be a play on words, but nonetheless, it's pointing to a certain truth. And that's why I looked at the word derivative, what it actually means in the noun, plural noun, derivatives, something which is based on another source. So the example I give about being engaged is not a marriage. It's not the actual marriage. But a lot of people get happy with just being engaged. Sorry, someone's got a hand up. Sean, brother, I love what you said, brother, because I love different points and views coming forward. So who's got their hand up right now? Sister Love. Sister Love. How you doing?
Hi. No, I don't even know if I would be using derivative in the right context, but from what you're saying, the source would be us, wouldn't it? So if you watch the banking video where they explain the banks and what they do with money and what is money, they don't actually lend anything. So we're the source that creates everything.
That's the point.
And the derivative, so I think I kind of understand what you're saying. What they make us pay back, I would say, is a derivative of the source because we already created it and we were the source of everything and we paid it off. They just start adding stuff on and getting us to pay stuff back, which is something different to the source.
That's not a derivative.
Actually, to the
I
product.
think you lot should research it.
No, Sean. What?
Yeah, that's why I said I don't know if I'm using it in the right context.
So that is true. A mortgage-backed security is a derivative because you're buying the derivative on that instrument, on that financial instrument. So if you buy it, that mortgage-backed security, the idea is that it's going to make you money, innit? If we have derivatives, we make money.
Make money.
Yes,
Only
that's what a derivative allows us to do. It allows us to hold a certain value at a price point. And then if it goes in a certain direction, if we say it's going to go up, it's going to go down or whatever, we will make money. That's what a derivative does. That's what I said. I just wanted to make sure that you're using that it's been used in the right way because that's not how it's meant to be used. So that's
what you're doing, brother. What you're doing is that you're using terminology which is used in the property circles or conveyance circles. I totally get that. Which I just looked at the definition.
No, it's not conveyance. It's finance.
No, conveyance means property, bro.
No. Derivative is in the word of finance. It's
right,
not word of
when
property.
I use the term derivative to describe the fraud of mortgages, what I'm saying is I use the example of being engaged, mortgage. Brother said about mortgage, the French word which means more, a death pledge. You're not actually in ownership of the property. So you are in ownership of the derivative of the property, which is the actual interest. Now, I'm not using the terminology that is commonplace. I'm using the terminology according to the definition of derivative. I could use the word derivative or extract or part of, but these are just terms in this bastardized language known as English, which has a double meaning, by the way. So when I say derivative, I'm not saying you're wrong in terms of what you're breaking down, Sean. It's not a case of wrong. What I'm saying in the context I'm saying is to break up the illusion of one thinking they are in ownership. You're not actually in ownership of it. You own the derivative. Like, for example, we're told that we own our cars. But once we sign the V5 form, then you no longer own the car. You own the paperwork, which is a derivative of the car.
I think you're both correct. Because
no. Sean is correct in what he's saying, but it's just to give an understanding of when I use it in context, so I can destroy the spell of us thinking this false sense of security that, oh yeah, I own this. You don't own it. You don't own it.
We know that they use the English language for that very reason, is that a word can have 5 different meanings, and we know that they do have different meanings. So yeah, I think it can mean different. I think it can mean different things to different people.
But carry on with your point with what you're going to say, sister. Sister Love?
No, that was it.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Well, listen, we're going to close that in a bit, but I want to continue reading this. But please, people, go and look at words and get into the etymological root meaning of it. When you get into the etymological root meaning of it, and also go to the actual circle of, for example, if you're dealing with mortgages, there's derivative mortgages, and I use the term to describe that you don't actually own it. You own just the paper, if you even own the paperwork of it. Sister, could we carry on reading, please? And then we're going to conclude. And any questions and points, people, come forward. Is it Sister Carol that was reading? All right, I'm going to carry on reading. And we'll close out our book club for this evening. Right, where was we? Fees, charges, none. Okay. Where was we? That's why I didn't want to get kind of taken off the track too much onto things, because it kind of takes me off track a little bit. But never mind, it's all good.
Do you enjoy living on a fifth of what you actually earn?
Say again?
I said, I think that's where you were.
Where are we?
Do you enjoy living on 1/5 of what you actually earn?
Do you enjoy living on 1/5 of what you actually earn? A derivative of what you actually, that's another example. To strengthen their scam, they have invented a language of lies called legal terminology, where they have changed the meanings of the ordinary English words in order to abuse and rob ordinary members of the public. They have set up a company called the Law Society, the Law Society, to train up unscrupulous people in their methods of lies and deception. Their commercial company, which pretends to be the government, keeps inventing new statutes, rules, which they pretend are laws, which they most definitely are not. And they keep telling everybody they must obey these laws. And they have subverted policemen and policewomen. By the way, we've got to call them policemen and policewomen. Stop calling them police officers. And convince them that they have to enforce these statutes. The primary aim of these statutes is to take cash, goods, property from members of the public who have not yet discovered it is a scam being run against them. Many police officers, policemen, policewomen, are probably themselves ignorant of the fact that statutes are purely optional, and we spoke about this, and no human is actually bound by them. I'm gonna stop you right there real quick, because I want to show everyone something real quick. Okay, let me just go into something real quick. Okay. I think we should do this. I'm gonna show you something before we close out. And then while we load up, has anyone got any questions or any points that you'd like to make on what we've discussed? Whether it's about derivatives, whether it's about mortgages, whether it's just to clarify anything. And I want to thank all the new guests that have come into book club as well, by the way. This is Revolution. 21 people reading on a Thursday evening. How was everyone's bank holiday? And by the way, isn't it funny they call it bank holiday? Have you ever questioned why they call it bank holiday? Have you ever questioned why they call it bank holiday? Why they don't call it the people's holiday? Because the banks are on holiday. They don't care about the people. They don't care. When that is a clue to tell you who's really running this corporation. It's not Keir Starmer. It's not, it's definitely not, what's her name again? Kemi, go and see a dentist, Banadok. It's not Nigel Farage yet, but I feel he will win the next one. And it's definitely not Tommy Robinson yet. It's definitely the bankers, the private central bankers. And the more we understand the difference between money, currency, coinage, legal tender, and lawful tender, then the better off we will be. When no one can make money here. No one, and I read this, I remember I read this in the book called Think and Grow Rich. Nobody makes money. You attract currency. The only place that makes money is a mint. They print it. Oh, that's not even money. That is paper. It is a note. It's a promissory note. It's a debt note. I want to do something real quick just to test out our knowledge on something, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, give me a moment. Oh, don't. Has anyone got any points, anything they want to say? Any rebuttals, anything? This space is open, it's free for agreements, for disagreements, for questions. Make me wrong, make me right in what I've read. I'm here to learn too.
Yeah, brother, sorry. I wanted to get your number so we can have a reasoning, if you don't mind, please.
Certainly. I'll tell you what. Have you got the email address, brother?
Yeah. Can you maybe put in the chat or something?
I'll definitely do it, sir. Is this your first time here?
Yes.
Is your first time here?
It is, yes.
Oh, listen, man. You know what they used to say back in the day when you go to church? And is anybody here for the first time? Please stand up. Thank you very much, brother, for coming. This is not church, but we are definitely a family. We are a group of people coming together, trying to learn. And I'm gonna conclude book club soon, but I just want to test all of our knowledge. I want to just make sure as we conclude this book, because this book's about to finish and we're gonna move on to a new book. I want to I posted the email in the chat for you, Congo Bongo. I love that name. It sounds like a warrior name, man. Congo Bongo. Yeah, I said, I love it. So I just want to see, and sister.
How long is left in the book, Courtney? If you don't mind me asking.
And do you mind me asking who's speaking? Who was that?
Sister Love.
Oh, Sister Love. How long we got left on the book? Oh,
yeah. How many pages left? Is it nearly finished? Or just...
Literally nearly finished. We're almost there. We're almost there. I thought that we would finish it tonight, but I don't like rushing it. I don't like rushing it. I think we'll finish it next week. So please forgive me, everyone. I did believe we would finish it, but I don't want to rush it. We don't need to rush things, man. So I'm just going to ask a question to the space on this book so far, as we're concluding the book, because we will conclude the book and we're going to move on to something else, and it's not going to be so long. Knowledge is power. We keep talking about Malcolm X, we keep talking about all these greats, but they all read, they were readers, and they retained knowledge. So here we go. I wish I had a theme song that I could play along with this. You know, like The Price is Right or 3 to 1 Dusty Bin On. Some of you are too young to remember those programs. All right, I'm giving away my age now. Let's keep it moving. All right, so put all your answers, how are we going to organize? Should we just leave this until next Thursday? All right? What do you reckon, family? We can leave this until next week, Thursday. This is a quiz on the book that we've constructed together, the team. And I'm just going to ask one question, and I want you to think over this, and I think we will continue this next Thursday. So the question here is the straw man, as described in the book, depicted in the book above. Okay, what is the straw man? What is the straw man, people? Is it A, a fictional character in a novel, B, a legal entity created at the birth representing you, C, a government official, D, a type of financial instrument? We should all know the answer. What is the straw man, people? Put your answer in the chat for me. Put your answer in the chat. What is the straw man? We kind of asked this question before when we started off this session, didn't we? Is it A? Is it B? Is it C? Or is it D? Put A in the chat if you think it's A, or B, or C, or D. Let me see. Well, let me see who's been paying attention. Everybody says B, yeah? Tracy, which Tracy? Is that my Tracy? Tracy, Pauline says B. Hey, you're gonna say A and B, Sister Love. That's cheating. You cheated. Sister Love, you cheated. Yvonne says B. Woman says B. Come on, people, take a guess. Now, don't make them figures get paralysis now. Come on. Shall we see? All right. A and B, bruh. All right. B, give yourself a round of applause, is B. The book describes a straw man as a legal entity created at birth. We said this before, legal and financial matters. I'm going to move on to the next question, and then I think we'll continue this next week. So you'll give you a chance to brush up, don't read up on the book. All right, I don't think y'all are ready for this. According to the book, why was the straw man created? A, to protect individual rights. B, to simplify tax collection. C, to swindle the individuals without their knowledge. D, to assign social security numbers or national insurance numbers for England, social security numbers for America. So what is it, people? Let me get that countdown theme song, man. Listen. So what is it? A, hold on. What is it? A, B, or C? Come on, people. Tell me. All right. Oh, damn. This is not the right song. Pull that up like the DJ. Okay. Is it A, B, or C? Come on, people. C? Huh? Did everyone say C? You said A-ish. A-ish? A-ish? Stop it, man. All right, A-ish. A-ish. No, come on now. All right. C? Who says C? No, ST. Sean, you're saying A-ish. But then again, according to the book, why was the strawman created? To protect individual rights? Interesting. It was created to protect your identity. According to the book, ABD is to trick us, Tracy, you know. All right, let's see if y'all get it right. It is A, B, C, or D. Let's have a look. Let's have a look, Jack. Uh-oh, it's C. C. Yes, C. Oh boy, it's C. It's C. The book suggests that the straw man was created to swindle individuals about their knowledge. It was created, the book suggests that the straw man was created to swindle individuals, you and I, without our knowledge. Without our knowledge. You see? So, in other words, who knew that when for example, your name, the birth certificate, whatever have you, was a certified entry form? Who knew that mom and dad were informants of the state? Huh? Who knew that this was, as brother said earlier, something that is put into the stock exchange or a bond certificate that could be monetized to create currency? Huh? It's not something that you use to identify yourself. So if it's not used to identify yourself, then what is it? Why has it got the Crown Corporation on it? Think. It's not a myth, people. You ready for the next one? All right. What is the significance? All right, quiet countdown music. What is the significance of understanding? I might get a copyright strike now. I don't want to do that. What is the significance of understanding the difference between legal and lawful in the context of the book? What is the significance? Look at the question now. What is the significance of understanding the difference between legal and lawful in the context of the book? They are interchangeable terms. A. B. Legal refers to common law, while lawful pertains to statutory law. We just looked at it. Statutory, another word for statutory, statute. C. Legal. Actions may not always be lawful. Actions may not always be lawful, highlighting potential injustices. We kind of touched this, didn't we know? D. There's no significant difference. What is it, people? I say C. Conga bonga. You say C. C. Legal actions may not always be lawful, highlighting potential injustices. Are you sure? Are you sure? Do we need to play the dun 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 dun? I do the beatbox. Dun 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 dun. They can't copyright strike my so-called beatboxing. So everybody says C. Tracy, you say C. Ivan, Auntie Ivan says C. Woman says C. Let's see if you are wrong or right. Yep, the answer is C. The answer is C, but why? The book, and this is the book, by the way, and I want to say this is not legal advice we're giving away. We don't give no legal advice. This is just educational purposes only. The book emphasizes that legal actions may not always be lawful, highlighting potential injustices. Can anyone give me an example of why the book would emphasize that legal actions may not always be lawful, highlighting potential injustices? I'll give you an example then. The example is when a diplomat came here to the UK from America, all right? And they were in a Range Rover, Land Rover, and they hit someone. It was a hit and run. And then upon that, they fled the country as a diplomat. But then there was not, what is the term? Extradited, or not the word extradite. There's a term that you use for diplomats. The United States of America Corporation did not give up their diplomat to go and stand before a court of law, because we know law is injury, harm, loss. Somebody lost their life. A family member lost somebody lost their family member because somebody was killed. Legality, excuse me, law covers that. Legally, they got off. You with me? Legally, because their diplomatic status, as we say in Jamaica, statutorial. Yeah, they got off. You feel me?
Point of interest. I think you always hear them say diplomatic immunity.
There you go. Thank you, sister. Thank you. Diplomatic immunity. Diplomatic immunity, mate. See? So that's an example, maybe not the best one, of the difference between legal and law. Under a court of law, that individual would be put in prison because of the loss of life, at least for manslaughter. But the legalities protected said individual. All right? And there's so many other examples. Shall we carry on? 22 people here. Okay. Love it. Knowledge is power. Thank you. Okay. Question 4, people. The book suggests that certain obligations are optional. Which of the following is not mentioned as optional? A, paying taxes. B, registering a vehicle. Spoke about that. C, voting in elections. D, attending court. And again, I'm going to repeat this. We at the Power of Consent are not telling you not to pay your taxes. We will never tell you not to pay your bills, never not to pay your taxes, not to pay your TV license, not to pay your council tax, not to pay whatever fines. That's of your own volition. We are not telling you not to pay nothing. What we are saying is get informed consent, get knowledge, get the information, and you make up your own mind. We're not telling you what to do. We're only saying go and read, and make an informed decision. The injustice is that you're not given the knowledge, and it's not fair. We want to inform the people. Okay, let's look at this. What is it, A, B, C, or D? Come on, all? No, Paula, you can't do that, Paula. It's not fair. That's like going on the show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Which one of these recipes come from Jamaica? Okra, jerk chicken, oxtail, and callaloo. All of them. You're right. A and B. No. You're gonna have, okay. Well, A and B. Okay, sure, that's A and B, brother. No, you can't say all. You can't say all. You have to select one. Come on now, people. Select one. You know what? I might just close it out tonight early and just give everyone a chance to go and read up. Okay, so Sean says A. Sean says A. The book suggests that a certain obligation are optional, of which the following is not mentioned as optional. Let's have a look. Sister Love, you can't say all. Paul, you can't say what you say. Sean says A. Mummy says A. Is that all? Come on, people. All right, let's have a look. Jimmy. Oh, what have I done? Something gone wrong. Okay, it's B. Hold on. I've done something here. Okay. Oh, God. Sorry. You know what? I think that's the sign from the ancestors to stop. I'm going to continue that next week. Here at Book Club. And I just want to, real quick, I want to say thank you for everybody. And I want everyone, has everyone subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, by the way? We've got a lot of exciting stuff that we want to upload to YouTube. Has anyone subscribed to it yet? We need all of you, 21 of you, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And that is, let me just post it up right now. I wish my moderators. I wish my moderators would do this. This is what
I've just added it.
Yeah?
I've just put it in the...
Thank you so much, beloved. Thank you. Go ahead and subscribe to our channel, people. It's a wonderful channel. And it's a baby. We're struggling, and babies struggle. Babies do struggle. And we need your support because we're going to grow this. We're not playing with this. When it comes to waking up the people and making sure people are well informed, that we have great discussions, great debates, we want to create a platform for such, reparations, natural rights, things like the Windrush compensation scheme. If you don't want to read all the tedious stuff, just go ahead and play the video. If you don't want to, if you want to go backtrack into some of our previous book clubs, there you go. Go and just play it while you cook your food, your bami, your okra and whatever we cook, or warm it up if you don't cook it. Yeah, go ahead. There's a lot of information. There's a who's this dude here? There's a council tax webinar we've done for those of you that got issues with council tax. Again, this is not legal advice. We are not telling you not to pay council tax. We are telling you that if you want to pay, go ahead and pay your council tax. See, go and pay your TV license. Go and pay your parking fines. Go and do all of that. We're not telling you not to do it. We are telling you to get informed. I'm going to make that clear. Nobody can come back and say, well, you told me. No, we told you, go and get knowledge. Go and check out this video about banks are closing, invest in gold. Clive, featuring the great brother, Clive Lindsay. Are you in the house? Clive, are you still here? Go and read up on, or watch, excuse me, council tax webinar. It's all to do with legislation and law. Nothing we're saying is of our own, don't come from the top of our head. We are reading legislation, UK legislation and constitutional law, and we're just repeating it. Go ahead, go and subscribe to the channel. Oh, okay, 28 subscribers. We want more subscribers. By the end of June, I want 100. And by the end of the year, I'm looking for 1,000. You hear me? Pauline, go ahead.
One, you know, like how you said, you're not telling people not to pay council tax and all that.
That's right.
And one of the things is, I remember somebody saying to me, it's all about conquering your fear to be able to stand, make you stand against the system with, you know, the council tax and all that, because, you know, we know it's fraud. And then one of the things that was pointed out is sometimes fear is a good thing because it drives you further. It helps accept your adrenaline, and sometimes it helps you step out of your comfort zone. Even though they say, oh, don't fear, but sometimes fear can help you step out of your comfort zone and get you and make you move further, move up further. Do you understand?
Yep.
You understand? Yeah, I just wanted to make that point because, you know, a lot of people always, when they say we're not telling you, and people fear that, you know, if I don't pay the council tax, the police are coming after me and all this. But, you know, fear, there's a balance in life. Yeah. And, you know, if we balance it right, we can get through. I yield the floor.
We have to say that as a disclaimer. We're not telling anyone here not to pay council tax. We're not going to do that. We never will do that, ever. We're not going to tell anyone to do that. You are sovereign. Sovereign means you are governing your own life, your own. You're a sentient being. You're not even human. You're a sentient living being. You're a god and a goddess. You're not just a man or a woman. We start off as male and female, then we graduate and ascend to becoming men and women. Some of us still are male and female, and we're still infant in our understanding and in our development, and that's fine as long as we acknowledge it. But then we need to evolve and grow into being men and women, and then from being men and women, we become gods and goddesses. See, you are responsible for your own choices. I am responsible for my own choices. I can't tell you what to do, what to believe. All I can do as a conduit and as a servant of the Most High Supreme Being is I want to be someone that helps people with information, knowledge, and motivation. That's what I do. That's what I love to do. I'm not telling anyone not to pay council tax or to pay it. What I want to do is tell, hey, here's the information. You don't have to pay according to the law, but it's up to you. You got to make that decision for yourself. What did Morpheus say to Neo in the Matrix? He didn't say, go on, take the red pill. What happened to your boy? Yeah, idiot. Yeah, come here, boy. And hold him and stuff the red pill down his throat. What are you doing, Morpheus? Oh, my God. No, 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 no. Wisdom. You show the right way, but you allow, look, Morpheus said, all I can do, and I'm not Morpheus, by the way, all I can do is show you the door. You have to open it. You have to open it. The door is a book. That's why books look like doors. You have to open it. And that's why the next book we read is we're not gonna read the entirety of the book. We're gonna read chapters of books.
And I'm here, brother. Sorry, my mic wasn't working. I heard
right.
you earlier. I'm still here.
That's right, bro. Chapters of the book, ISIS papers. We have to understand white supremacy. We have to. Black people have to understand it. White people have to understand it. But we have to understand white supremacy. There's a great book called the ISIS papers, written by a queen called Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. I don't know if anyone's heard of this book. Brilliant book. Okay. Yeah? And there's so much dope chapters in this book that will make you understand what is going on today. This book, the ISIS papers. Who's heard of this book? The Keys to the Color. This is a great book. This is written by a professor, a doctor, a graduate, a scholar. Huh? Brilliant book. Talks about melanin, talks about why there's a fear of, I don't know, what they got ISIS in terms of the CIA-made group. Excuse me. Get rid of that. Next minute, we're gonna get knocks on my door. Oi, you partner. This beautiful woman here. Who's heard of this woman? This woman is great. She's a scholar. She's a scholar, and she passed away. And here's something for you. Who watched Wakanda Forever, Black Panther 2?
I have.
Right. Only one person, one individual watched it. Okay.
I have.
When you watch Wakanda Forever, do you remember Angela Bassett's character?
Yes.
Do you remember the aesthetics of Angela Bassett?
Yeah.
What did she look like? Sure. I'm gonna show you something. I don't believe in coincidences. And we're gonna close out. We're gonna close out forever, ever. Oh my God, ever. Sorry. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Ramon. But there's an image of the good sister Angela. Oh, okay. Of Angela Bassett. Okay. I don't think that there was a coincidence that Ryan Kluger made Angela Bassett resemble this woman. Are you staying with me? Do you hear? I'm not. Is this a reach? Yeah. Is this a reach? Am I reaching?
Yes, you can see similarity, yes.
The hair, the aesthetics resembles Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, Jan's sister, the mother. And I can't wait until we go into Ryan Kluger's new movie, Sinners, because there's a special message in there for women. I'm telling you, the woman is the soil. If the soil is fertile and looked after, and I'm talking of fertile in terms of not just the normal way of birth, I'm talking about your mind. You have two wombs. That's what you call the womb man. You have two wombs, your mind and the womb which brings forth life. Now, the first womb governs the second womb. And if we're not feeding the first womb, then the second womb will be corrupted and everything and all offspring thereof will be corrupted. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm saying this respectfully. I'm not saying this to be disrespectful towards womanhood, but your womb man, you are the earth. You bear the fruit. But the seed is what you plant in your mind, essentially creates your aura. We're going into some dope magic now, yeah? The reason why you are feared, woman, is because they fear that you will tap into your true self. Your true self is not tapping into twerking. It's not tapping into carnival. It's not tapping into gyrating. No disrespect to sisters that do that. I know many sisters who dance and whatnot, but you're more than that. You're more than just the curvature of your body, the dimensions of your body. In fact, the dimensions and the curvature of the Black woman is geometry, sacred science, and math. Left curve, right curve. All right. We know the earth is not flat based upon the Black woman. Sorry. You are designed in such a beautiful way, spiritually and physically. But now this world, the lower chakra world, now energy, wants you just to be displayed as an object of pleasure, when womanhood is more than that. Yeah? You are mother, you are matriarch, you are Mary. That's why Catholicism, Catholic religion, at the very head of it in St. Peter's Square Basilica, Andre can bear me witness, and those who came with us to Rome, is the black woman at the very top. Isis, the Isis papers. In the black woman, and I'm not denigrating other women by saying this, in the black woman, and they know, that's why they made a whole movie called Lucy. And at the end of Lucy, she turned black. Yo, listen, on and already. Let me stop. Yo. Luc Besson, the maker of the movie The Fifth Element with Chris Tucker and Bruce Willis, at the end of the sacred diet element of the film was the woman. Matrix, the word matrix means womb. That's why Trinity was fulfilling the Godhead. Yeah? There's so much we're going to go into in this film that that at the end of the day, I'm telling you, tell me what your thoughts are, people. What do you reckon? Am I lying? Yeah? Sorry, just had to. So family, I'm just going to end off today, yeah? Because we can stay. Clive, we're going to bring you on, brother, next week, because next strong, we call it. Would that be okay? I think we need a session with you real soon, brother. Yeah, we've got people that we're coming in that want to talk about land as well, gold, and real tangible assets, because money is not paper, it's assets. Wealth is assets. We've got to reprogram our mind. No one here is in debt. No one. Not one of you are in debt. The straw man, straw woman is, but you, the living sentient man and woman, you are not in debt. That envelope that comes through your door, nah, that's not you. The bailiffs that knock on the door, that's why I can't wait when we break down the sinners. The bailiffs absolutely represent the vampires, the succubus then. Yeah? Do not let them in. That's why the rule of vampirism is don't let them in. If you invite them in, they can pass the threshold. The bailiffs is the same thing. If you open the door, you can invite them in. Bailiffs. This movie, Sinners, is so deep. All right, family. Okay.